Are you an internationally educated nurse thinking of working in Canada and you're confused of the difference between an LPN and an RN? I work in BC, so I will be using BC for an example for this video. An LPN is a licensed practical nurse, and RN is a registered nurse. So I'll be discussing what the BCCNM talks about, the differences between both of them, so that you can choose the right path for you. In British Columbia here, every nurse works within what is called a scope of practice. This simply means a range of activities you are educated, competent, and legally allowed to do. It's what defines what you can and cannot do, and this is set by BCCNM. Just to recap, BCCNM is the nursing regulatory body here in the province of British Columbia. So let's start with LPN, licensed practical nurse. LPNs provide nursing care to promote, maintain, and restore health, mainly for stable and predictable conditions. They can act independently or what is called an autonomous scope. For more complex and unstable clients, they work with a client-specific order or under the guidance of a registered nurse. Now to the registered nurse. The registered nurse has a broader and more complex scope. The RNs are able to make more independent decisions, look after unstable and complex or unpredictable conditions. They can work autonomously as long as they are competent to do so. They can perform more restricted activities without a client-specific order as long as it's within their scope and they're competent to do so. Registered nurses assess, make nursing diagnosis, plan, and evaluate care, and oftentimes supervise other nurses. So not to bore you or take such a long time, in summary, in short, for complexities, RNs can handle unstable and complex clients, while LPNs can handle stable and predictable conditions. For autonomy, RNs are able to act autonomously and independent. For an LPN, they would need an order for advanced care. Leadership, RNs can often lead a team, and LPNs collaborate within the team. Lately, the LPNs have been going into more of leadership roles. Recently, I had a colleague, an LPN, who is now an LPN educator. There are several LPN educators. There are several LPN supervisors. So LPNs now are into the leadership role, not only RNs. In terms of educations, RN are longer, typically takes 4 years, and LPNs are shorter, I think 2 years. But also, once you become an LPN, you can do a bridging program into becoming an RN, and I think it's like a year, I think 2 years too. It's called a LPN to RN bridging program, which can also be sponsored by your employer. Tip. If you're an internationally educated nurse, here's what that means. If your background is a practical or diploma nursing, you may qualify for LPN. If you were trained or licensed as a registered nurse, you will likely aim for an RN, but you might need a bridging or a competency assessment. Either way, knowing your scope and practice help you safely prepare to work in BC or any province in Canada. Hi, I'm Tutu, and I help internationally educated nurses transition successfully into Canadian practice. Follow, like, share with your nurses, or if you know a nurse that's looking to work in Canada. Follow for more breaking down licensing processes and real-life nursing tips and videos. Make sure you tag another internationally educated nurse that needs to hear this. See you in my next video. Bye.